So hey y'all, welcome to my channel, and for today I'm going to be showing you how to create a very important makeup base for the summer that is a sweat-proof, waterproof, summer-friendly base, and it's also going to be very minimalistic, and the entire look is something that you can wear for a very prolonged period of time, even to the beach, and you can take a dip in the water and your makeup will stay in place. So let me go ahead and show you how to create this look. So let's start off. So I'm going to start off with my skin prep, which is already done. And as you can see, I'm taking a tissue and I'm patting it on my skin, especially in my T-zone. That way all the excess moisture is taken away. I'm using the Huda setting powder and I'm patting that on the T-zone of my face. Don't use a lot of powder. Use the most minimal amount of powder. Another alternative to this will be the sugar all set to go banana powder. And now I'm going to use my favorite Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. And this is the best hack possible. We're going to mix a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray all together, create a mix, and then I'm going to apply this on my skin. So ideally speaking, what we could do is to go ahead and work this in sections because it dries extremely fast. So this hack is going to make your foundation very sweat proof and waterproof. So it will not even transfer onto your mask or anything. It's going to make sure that it remains in place all day without any creasing and without it budging. So that's the best hack ever, and this has been my cult favorite for the past 1 year. I've been loving this. I work in sections, as you can see. So I'm working on the cheek and then the forehead, and then I do the middle, and then I do my left side of the face. So this way that your foundation dries as it goes along with the process, blend it really well into the skin, and that way you'll get a good coverage and you'll also get a very good finish. I'm going to drop a couple of alternatives to the foundations and the products down in the description bar below also. Now I'm just going to go ahead and spot correct on certain areas, and with whatever is left, I'm going to pick it up on a stippling brush and go across my neck. And now I'm going to move on to cleaning my eyebrows with a tissue. That way any foundation is going to be removed, and I'm going to use the Huda's contour in the shade medium. So this is the tantour, which is like a contour plus a bronzer, but this tone is more neutral, which works better as a contour. So I'm applying it correctly in the double chin area first, and I'm creating a line and I'm blending it. I'm not doing horizontal lines because that looks very made up. So instead I'm taking it vertical into my neck area. And now I'm going to do both the corners too. I'm doing one of the sides and I'm pulling it down correctly where the light hits. And I'm also going to do my left side right now. Slowly blend that towards the chin and then towards the ear area. That way it's a lot more smoother and the skin looks a lot more realistic and you look like it has a sharper jawline. Now I'm going to use the Becca's corrector. You can use any peachy corrector if you're around my skin. And if you're deeper, you can use an orange. And if you're lighter, you can use a lighter peach. So I'm just going to apply that towards the inner area of my eye where my under eyes are extremely dark. And then I'm going to take it a little downwards where the dark circles are a little lesser. So I do not need a lot of product in that area. Pat it into the skin. That way you're not blending it. And now I'm going to go ahead with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is my favorite one. And I'm just going to apply like just 2 to 3 dots at the max. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that into my skin. This is my most favorite concealer. And you can do the concealer step even before the foundation with this technique. You will not get any kind of a line in the middle. And that way it's going to be a lot more easier for you to work through. So going ahead and blending the product well into the skin. So just pat it in, that way you're not pulling and dragging so you don't lose coverage. Pat it and slowly kind of push it onto your skin, and I'm using as less as possible. I think using less is the best way to keep your makeup crease proof. So now I'm using the Maybelline's Tattoo Brow, and now this is going to work on your eyebrows just like waterproof. So it's not going to move at all. Now I'm going to go with the powder and I'm going to slowly start to pat it onto the skin. So while we're doing the brows as well as the concealer, it helps the foundation to naturally dry. That way it's going to set by itself and it's also not going to use too much powder. So now it's a good amount of time. So I'm using the powder and I'm going to set the entire eye area. And then I'm going to slowly start to move that into the skin. I'm using a pizza puff and I'm picking the product. I'm not baking my skin. I'm just using the most minimal amount of powder and I'm pushing it onto the skin. As you can see, I'm not dragging. I'm lifting my hand and I'm pushing it onto the skin. Go a little bit with more pressure, especially in the nose area and the pores area. That way your skin starts to look a lot more smoother. So you start getting all that pores to look like it's a lot more smaller and it's a lot more finer. Remove the creasing in any of your under eyes or the lip area. That way you don't set the crease that way. So you smoothen the product out and then you go ahead and you set it into your skin. I'm going to be skipping certain areas where I want my skin to look glowy. For example, my cheeks. So I'm only setting the jaw area, the chin, the nose, the center of my forehead. I'm going to leave the cheek. So I'm going to use a liquid blush right now from Gush Beauty. And this is also like a dewy formulation. That's the reason why I left the cheek without having powder on it. So it's a liquid blush. You can go ahead and use a powder also if that's something you like. So I'm just going to blend that in, and I'm taking it slightly above, like into the eye socket area too. So it kind of looks very connected, and I'm also taking it towards my temples. Using the Maybelline's Falsies Lash Lift, I'm going to go ahead with around 2 coats of mascara. It's a very simple, everyday friendly look. So no eyeliner, no eyeshadow, just a little bit of mascara to keep the skin looking very natural. So make sure you're going with like 2 to 3 coats of mascara and nicely wriggle your wands between your lashes. You can also do the lower lash line too and keep the coats a little lesser on the lower lash line. Moving on with the K Beauty's lip contour in the shade Chocolate, I'm going to go ahead and nicely define my Cupid's bow, and we're going to do a neutral lip. So a lip liner is a must for me. So you can very, very nicely define your Cupid's bow and connect that to the end of your lip, and you can slowly start to fill that in. And then we can just go ahead and do the lower lip right now. And I'm going to connect that towards the corners too. I'm not going to make it like a little kind of bigger or anything. I'm just kind of defining the shape using the Etude House Fixing Tint. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that only in the middle areas of the lip. That's kind of where I like the most intense amount of color. So it's more kind of defined and it looks more juicy. And now I'm going to use the Dime Beauty's lip oil, and we're going to apply that in the center area where we didn't apply the tint. And we're going to follow that up with the powder routine. So I'm only going to apply it on the T zones and especially the nose area where I get the most oily, upper lip, chin, sides of the lip, as well as the forehead. And once that's done, I'm going to go with the second layer of setting spray, and that we let it dry by itself. And this is the final outcome. This is my everyday go-to kind of makeup look, and this is the base which I always do when I go out, even to concerts, beaches. It kind of stays put completely all day. So I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll leave a product list down in the description bar below for some alternatives to these products too. So make sure you check that out and give me a big thumbs up if you found this helpful. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, bye bye.